Dear.
That was fun.
Yep. Welcome to a fabulous Thursday.
I almost said Friday. I was ready
It
for it to be
not
Friday.
yet Friday. It is not yet Friday.
It is not?
No. Not in this time zone.
Well, that's fun.
In a different time zone, it's Friday already.
Fabulous.
But not here. Not in Calgary. Welcome to my sewing room. I'm Leah.
I'm Chelsea.
And we're here to show you something cool today. We have a demo.
It's my first time doing it.
It's not your first time doing it.
And I forgot to get black thread.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab that.
Okay, you grab black thread. I'll get started. If you guys watched our store tour on Facebook on Monday, you may have seen a whole bunch of things get rearranged, and I briefly mentioned Southwind Designs patterns. So we don't always show off quilting patterns and techniques online because sometimes they're really hard to show. But today is a very cool little thing. We're going to show a bunch of the Southwind Designs patterns and give you a small idea of what you could possibly do with some of these cool patterns. So Southwind Designs does a very cool cathedral window type effect in their piecing to give you some very neat curved piecing. And it's magic.
It is magic.
It is magic. So I don't know, in your stack of samples there, Chelsea, did you have the block you're making?
Yes, it's right here.
Oh, okay, cool.
I left it separate so I didn't lose it.
Okay, so should I show our friends where we're headed today?
Yes.
Okay, so this particular little butterfly is from the Mariposa pattern. And the Mariposa pattern has butterflies and words are escaping me. The patterns escaped me too. Where did you put it? There's a cover.
It might be at my desk.
Okay, anyway, the Mariposa pattern has more butterflies like so.
I'll go grab it. Wouldn't it be a Thursday?
Would it be a Thursday if we weren't missing a thing or two? Anyway, there's many patterns. Some of them, if butterflies aren't your thing, maybe bears are. The bears are from a pattern called Berry Patch. And the bears are so cute. I think the bears are my favorite. Oh, right. Butterflies and pinwheels.
Pinwheels.
It's really pretty. Love the bears.
The bear's so adorable.
Bears are so cute. It's cute. There's also peaches. I like peaches. There are frogs. What else is there? Oh, I didn't see the elephant when I was rearranging patterns the other day. Or did I?
No?
No. There's a
Elefante?
no elefante. There's peeps. We have samples without patterns. And there's some, if you don't want to make really cute animals, there's actually just some really cute patterns, like lanterns, baubles and beads, chic, chevron chic, and there's a whole alphabet. So you can make alphabet blocks if you wanted to make names across the top of a baby quilt.
You so could.
You totally could.
I forgot the alphabet blocks.
You sure did. That's okay.
Someone left me to my own devices. It was Leah.
Yeah, sometimes you leave me to my own devices. So anyway,
This is true.
we're going to walk you guys through prepping and getting started on how you'd actually make one of these very cool blocks with what looks like magical curved piecing.
It is magical.
But you're not actually piecing any curves, which is even better. So
Tidy up our workspace a little. We may have gotten out of hand very quickly. All right. So
Okay.
I pre-cut all of our pieces because it's not our pattern, so we can't say what size we're going to cut everything.
right. Yes. Copyright,
But-
you know.
You will know the sizes when you pick up your pattern.
And you'll have all the instructions of how the thing actually goes together.
Yes.
which will help immensely.
Immensely, yes.
Immensely. So, are you going to start with a couple half square triangles?
I think so.
Okay.
So in the pattern, you have 2 different sizes of squares to cut, and they're for your wings.
Yep.
I picked yellow and blue. These 2 are the same size. They're the larger ones that you
the
cut.
top of the wings.
The top of the wings. So maybe we should flip to a top down.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I like to draw on my lighter fabric. And I'm on the back side of my fabric. I'm not used to working with an extension table on the table over here.
That's okay.
So I am just going to draw a line diagonally down my fabric on the wrong side. We're going to put it on top of the other one. So right sides together. And then I'm just going to stitch along the line 1/4 inch away on each side.
So you're going to make 2 half square triangles out of 2 squares.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice and easy, eh?
Yep, totally. So let me swap over to close-up view. You guys can watch Chelsea sew that together.
Ignore my black fabric. It's just my leader.
So your little triangle ears don't fall into the stitch play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a nice hack to being able to chain piece and not lose your little pieces. So we're just going to sew this down. And I'm using black thread simply so that I don't have to change threads when I start piecing my project together.
Normally on something light like this, you'd stick with a lighter color, like cream or beige,
Yeah.
light gray, whatever color you like to piece with. The really cool thing about this technique is it's going to go together pretty quick once you get in the rhythm. And it looks like way more pieces than it is. When Chelsea handed me the stack of pieces to start ironing this afternoon, I was like, what in the world are we doing? It was a little bit overwhelming.
Apparently had my slow mode on, so I beefed up our speed. So you can see I just flipped around there to get to the other side. See my little line. You can see my stitches pretty well, actually. I'm going to send that over to Leah.
For pressing and cutting, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And we are going to press our seams open.
That's going to help reduce bulk.
Yep. And I may have already made a test block of this butterfly so that I knew where all the colors went. And so you don't have to watch me sew a whole bunch of straight lines.
Right?
So it turned out kind of cute. I kind of like it.
So, set the seam. Open that seam up. Press open. So the first little bit so far is super easy.
Yes. So you're going to do that with your larger wing squares and your smaller wing squares. So you'll wind up with 4 half square triangles per block. So we'll have 2 large ones
And 2 small
and
ones.
2 smaller ones. Magic of TV. So my 2 little ones here.
Let's zoom in a little bit more.
Oh
That'll be
yes,
a little bit
makes it a lot
friendlier.
easier. And I may have already done part of this piecing
Oh,
so
sweet.
that we didn't have to sit here and watch me sew all that. But we'll do it with this side.
Okay. So what's happening here now? Just that way a little bit.
Oh.
This is actually going to be over this way for the wing, because your wing points out and away, right? Yeah.
I had it upside down.
Oh, okay. So
Where are we?
glue's up.
Yep, so
Glue's up.
this is a few pieces, so we're going to do the exact same to this side, mirror image.
Where is this black piece coming from?
So there's 3 squares, 3 sizes of squares for background you have to cut. And I can't say the sizes.
All of them get pressed in half.
Every single one of them, yeah. So you'll take your little background square. There's a good spot. And you're going to press it on the diagonal to make a little triangle. So now I have a folded side and I have 2 raw edges.
Nice.
And then the hard part is figuring out where they all go, but they have a lovely diagram. And there's a little bit of gluing so that they stay in place.
That's brilliant. I love some Soline glue.
I also love some Southwind glue.
So did you glue the triangle closed too? Because that's my inclination.
If the triangle wasn't staying closed,
Yeah.
I glued it shut.
Oh,
If
okay.
it stayed closed, I left it and saved my glue.
Yeah, totally fair. Somebody pressed some of these better than others.
Yes. I may have been pressing them and having lots of fun. And it looks like you need one more square according to our diagram, and it's probably in this pile. There's big ones. Big ones. Middle piece. Where'd
This
it go,
project
Leah?
has moved between 4 different tables now.
It was here.
I believe you.
We're missing a square. Okay, no, not a worry. I'll just cut a new one.
Okay. Or you could. We don't really need.
Yeah, we do. Can I have this square?
Yeah.
I know what size it needs to be. We're good.
Okay, you're good.
And I can cut lefty, so we're really good.
Perfect.
And I had extra pieces, just in case.
Definitely a project where having all your pieces in a pile and labeled instead of just in the mess that I handed Chelsea would make this
A
easier.
project organization is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Today, I did as best I could. And then things happened. All right, now that she's made a beautiful triangle.
So that's gonna go there.
Where did I put my pins?
I have no idea.
Okay, we're gonna sew without pins. I got this.
You got this. I believe in you. So these two black pieces are glued down onto the half square triangle block.
Yep.
And then this piece is getting sewn right sides on top. Correct?
Yep. And I just have solid black, so I don't really have a right side, but this will work. And I'm going to stick in my leader because I love a good leader. Sewing with shoes on is always an adventure.
Do you not sew with shoes on at home?
No. Do you sew with shoes on at home?
I wear Birkenstocks around the house, and I sew in Birkenstocks. Or slippers. I don't think I ever sew without shoes on, because my feet are always cold. Always cold.
That's fair.
So the magic here is that we've made that folded edge loose in our piecing. And it's going to stay loose, but the other raw edge is going to get sewn into a seam allowance.
All right.
In a moment.
Do you want to flip flop cameras?
I do.
I can't reach them.
Okay.
My arm's too short, Leah.
Okay. Let's glue that in place for you.
Christine prefers to not wear shoes or slippers when she sews.
So I'd be curious to know how everybody else feels about the situation.
Put your votes in the comments because I'm curious.
Yeah, me too.
I have worn shoes, but I usually just wear shoes at work while I'm sewing. I know we usually have that great debate when we have classes and we have students. Some will slip off a shoe to sew and then put their shoes back on to go over to the
Yeah,
iron.
it's true.
It
It's pretty
happens.
funny.
But you know, whatever makes you most comfortable.
Okay, Miss
What you doing
Chels.
there?
Feeling confused, but
Okay,
I know
here.
you've got the sewing under control.
You put.
Put it on sideways.
Oh no, you didn't. You're
No, I
good.
didn't.
Okay. Yes. So we're going to
We're gonna sew.
assemble these two. Oh, we have to trim this.
Oh,
what
that's
we
what's
missed.
going on.
We missed trimming, Leah.
You didn't tell me there was trimming involved.
I forgot to read. Would you like me to trim? Because I know the number.
Yeah, I would.
The secret number.
Also, we're much better set up for you to trim left-handed than for me to trim right-handed at the moment.
It's fair. This is fun.
Fabulous. That makes more sense.
So when I'm trimming a half square triangle, I always trim scant off of one end, flip it around, and trim it to size.
Yeah.
I do that so I can get my line perfectly down my half square triangle, which you can't really see because apparently there's tons of glare there.
There is tons of glare. It's okay. It means I can't see the secret sizes.
This is true. My hand's also covering it. Okay, now that we have our square trimmed,
You took my.
we just have to reglue that.
Great news. We're gonna show. So one more seam like this, and then we're gonna show you the magic of this pattern.
Yeah, we could do a layout of all the pieces.
Yeah. I think you have the wrong one. I think you need that one. Yep.
That looks right. See, I'm glad I made a test one.
Definitely when we're doing live video, it is much easier if we have a test one to show and keep us on track. I guess I could have been ironing that piece with that other piece. I got this.
Alright. I'm just pressing my seam open with my finger because I'm on straight seams here, except for those folded bits, and I'm not pressing here, so I can finger press most of this. And I like to press my seams open for the most part. And then I'll send that to Leah for a really good press.
Yep.
Watch out for that flippy flapper that's loose.
Yes. I'll watch for the flippy flapper that's loose.
That's what I'm going to call it. I'll trim it down this one while you're doing that.
Flippy flapper that's loose.
The flippy flapper, you know.
Of course.
So Anne really leaves her shoes on.
Interesting. I don't think there's any wrong way to handle it.
I don't think so. And what I always tell students is whatever you're most comfortable with. It is best if you wear shoes in the classroom, though, because, you know, pins, rotary blades.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, but maybe one day, fire alarm. You know, you don't want to run outside with no shoes on.
It's true.
That would be really awful. All right, magic of TV.
So eventually we're going to sew this other guy into his friend. And then we have some more folded triangles for the top half of the wings. Those are going to get sewn into the seams they attach to. Then we have a little tiny body. Your little tiny body's so cute, Chelsea. Good job.
It's a little tiny body. Then there's some skinny mini pieces that go on the sides.
Yep.
And then there's some bigger pieces that go on the top and the bottom.
And it always looks weird when you have quilt blocks laid out because right now there's 4 seams that will take out a whole bunch of space. So this will shrink up and all fit. It's magic.
It'll shrink. To this.
Magic of television.
And so these are open, folds inwards. This is open. Here is open. And here. And then the same on the other side. There.
So all of those triangular bits are open.
What you looking for? My screwdriver. There it is. I was just going to switch this over to a walking foot.
So for this little project, you could go in and do the cathedral window finish, which is just folding that folded edge back on itself in a nice gentle curve. You could stitch that down before finishing your quilt, or you can stitch it down as you quilt and use it as part of your quilting. So that's how we're going to handle this today, is we're going to, and by we are going to, I mean Chelsea's going to.
I have not done this before.
But very doable. So we're going to make our little quilt sandwich. And on a bigger project, I use some 505 to hold that all together. But this is a wee little thing.
We're gonna have fun.
And you've made a wee little backing.
I did make a wee little backing. I did not trim it to size though.
I see that. I'm going to trim it slightly smaller for you. What are you going to do with your butterfly when you're all done?
Probably leave it at my desk as something pretty to look at.
Oh, good.
Maybe make it into a wall hanging and put it on my pinboard.
That would work. With both of them? Because you're making two.
Yes, I am making two. I forgot about that. Okay.
Okay. So, what Chelsea's going to do is, probably an awl is going to be helpful. An open toe walking foot's going to be...
It's closed toe.
Oh, it's a closed toe. Okay.
I did not have an open toe.
That's okay. So, with thread that matches the flappy bits...
I'm loving this description. Go on.
Flappy bits. The triangles.
We could call it background.
Background, yes. With thread that matches the background, we're going to fold a cathedral window, which is just that arced shape that will happen naturally when you push on that on that fold.
I am incredibly excited for this. Okay, so I was reading. All right, we'll put it there. I think that's about right.
Yep, probably.
And then I think I'm going to try and stay about 1/8 of an inch away from my first folded edge.
Yes.
So it'll be my more inner edge, not this edge, but that one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to drop my needle, and then I'm going to do a locking stitch.
So on my brother's, that's that round circle button just up above the reverse and the start-stop button.
And I have my little stiletto, so I don't have to worry about my fingers getting too close to the needle. And I have my stitch length at a 2.5. Oh, this is actually really fun, Leah.
Right?
I was a little terrified, I'm not gonna lie. Especially doing this for the first time live. But it's actually really fun. I'm having a good time over here. Okay. We're almost there. Yeah, I'm good. Now I'm just gonna... Alright, we're gonna travel to this corner, because I don't want to cut threads.
No. No, if this was quilting, you want to leave those threads as long as possible. So just traveling just inside the black there. Is that where you're traveling?
Yes?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go one stitch further, because I'd rather have... There. So I'm gonna pivot. And I do have my machine set to stop needle down. And you might see some white poking through in my thread. That's because I was too lazy to change the bobbin. And
you have a light yellow backing, so the white thread on the back makes sense.
So I could play a bit with my top tension to get that snugged in.
Yeah.
And I'm just stitching in the ditch. I'm going to pause here. And I'm going to fold my window and hold that with my stiletto.
The little flap on this much smaller triangle is much smaller, so you don't have as much space between the fold and the open edge.
And I'm just watching, because I do have that closed toe on my foot, I am watching to make sure the flap isn't going on top of my foot.
Yeah.
Because then I'm actually catching it with my needle. And I might lock when I get to the point of this one. I don't think I can travel to this one from where I am.
I think you can.
How am I going to travel? Down here?
Yeah.
interesting.
I would say yes.
I'm ready to play with this idea.
Because you'll still, when you get to the corner of that triangle, be able to flip it.
Really fun. We are having a great time. I'm so happy we did this. So, cathedral windows were on my sewing bucket list.
Really?
Now I can take them off because
Or you can make more.
I've always been a little intimidated by them.
I think the way that Southwind Designs does them makes this incredibly easy.
Yeah, like literally, I did not practice this at all before we did this.
Yeah.
I did not. I was going to. And then I was like,
I got this. The instructions make sense.
Like I can do this. And pivot. Put there. Would recommend. 10 out of 10.
Right? It's looking fabulous, Chelsea.
I'm having a great time. And the colors turned out nice.
So the really dramatic background makes this pop even better.
Also, on one hand, sewing because I was scratching my nose. So that's how doable this is, Leah. Scratch my nose while sewing.
Would you say the bigger curves are easier so far than the small ones? Yeah.
Most definitely, because they're not quite as tight.
Yeah.
The smaller ones are definitely a little bit more challenging. But considering I was completely terrified before, I feel like this was easily doable.
Right? So I would say if people are looking to try this technique for the first time, really any of the patterns are going to work, but something like the lanterns has nice big pieces to arc with.
I don't know how I'm actually acing those points right now. I'm actually really surprised. I'm looking like more of a pro sewer than I really am. Just lucking out.
It's really cute.
Actually,
I want to go home and make some.
I'm really happy with it. And for some reason, at 2.5, my stitches keep landing right in the corners of everything. I don't have to like fudge anything. It's a good day. We haven't had anything go wrong.
Why would you say that?
You know, there's
Maureen
time
says
for
you have
that.
a very beautiful butterfly.
Aw, Maureen's watching. Thanks, Maureen. I'm gonna call it the Scrappy Butterfly.
It would be fun to do scrappy butterflies.
It was made from scraps. You don't need much.
No, like you'll need a fair bit of background for the full quilt, but
Yeah, if you're making a whole quilt, totally. You need a decent amount, but you could totally make these in a nice sized hot pad.
right?
Or you could piece them together and make a little table on it.
With the wall hanging.
Really show off your stuff.
I
I might have stitched too far. Okay, we'll make this work.
It's because you said things while you were stitching. Like it was.
Shh. Well, just one stitch at a time. There we go. Look at that. Nobody will know, except for everybody who is watching.
Ooh, Anne says just need the right cape fabric for the wings.
Ooh, 100%. That would pop so much with this black background.
Right?
That would look gorgeous.
I was thinking the fabric behind us would be pretty sweet as well. It's called, I've read the label 3, Misty Garden. It's not on the web yet. It should hit the web tomorrow. but it would make really pretty wings too.
It would. This is really fun. I might have to make my mom some of these. I actually picked yellow because it's my grandma's favorite color.
Nice.
And my grandma loved spring and loves butterflies, which is maybe also why I picked this.
Good call.
Alright.
Just 2 triangles left, right?
I think so. How long have I been stitching this? Not very long.
Not very long.
Like, imagine how impressed everyone will be to see that you've made these little butterflies.
With rounded wings?
They'll be like, oh my gosh, that must have taken you forever. Nah, it took me 10 minutes.
It was a fun 10 minutes because you're also quilted at the end.
Yes, yes. That is nice because now I don't have to go around and do extra quilting or anything. I'm just done.
Yeah, you could absolutely go in and do more quilting, but you might not want to. So probably as somebody who likes to over quilt everything I make, I would probably not
go.
I would probably not quilt my butterflies because I wouldn't want to accidentally clip the little cathedral window flaps that are still there. But I might go and heavily quilt the background.
Oops, went too far again.
So that I could get the texture and then have the butterflies pop.
That would look lovely.
Yes.
Now we're on the easy one. I saved the easy one for the home run, you see.
Nice. Catherine says she's done a small cathedral window project by hand the traditional way. And this looks way faster.
Well, I'm almost done, Catherine. I'm very excited about this. My first cathedral window.
And not just like one little cathedral window in one spot. You've got, how many there?
10.
10. Nice.
And then I think I'm just gonna fudge where this background's landing so it doesn't land on my little body. The nice thing about the stiletto also.
You can hold things wherever you want.
Yeah. And then I think I just have to go down this one side here. Did I go down that side? How did I get it? Oh, no, I didn't. We will pivot just to go back to start.
So I have an idea for you.
Oh, do you?
I do.
Is it a fun idea?
Yep.
I went too far. Okay, what's your idea?
I think you could also quilt in some antennae.
I could. I could.
That's what I would do.
Okay. We want to draw them on?
Sure. I don't know. Do you want to draw them on?
We're going to go from here.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be cute.
So if you go up and back and then up and back, that's how I do that.
I think, let's back up one, because I think I went one too far.
Other thing you can do, if you wanted more thread on your project, which is how I roll, you can switch colors for the antenna.
Oh, you're so good.
Put a little metallic in there.
You know what I'm really excited about?
What?
It's the fact that I only have one start and stop point.
Right?
I didn't stop. Those are kind of even.
No butterfly's ever really perfectly symmetrical, though.
No. That's why we're YOLOing. I'm having a great time. ready?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Ooh, actually, this looks pretty good. I have been surprised today. Oh, that's cute. Okay. Should we hit top?
Yeah.
There's our butterfly.
So there it is, all quilted. Black on black here's a little bit of a trick to see. So this will still lift right at the edge because it's not stitched right in the fold. The fold itself is stitched back. So
We're hiding snacks in there.
not very big ones.
Not very big ones, but I could hide snacks.
And then the quilting has that lovely butterfly shape. So cute.
I should use black thread so we could see it.
It's okay.
That would have been cute.
Great job, Chelsea.
That was really fun. I had a good
You
time.
want to show that on the close up on the back there? Might-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's our little butterfly.
And that would be enough quilting around that piecing to hold it all in place.
Oh, well, flat. But my stitch line winds up right here. Oh, that was fun.
Right?
I might have to finish that other one. I was like, if this doesn't turn out well, I just, I won't keep going, but good time, so I'm gonna finish.
So I think any of the Southwind designs that you want to make moving forward would be a fabulously good time. You can refer back to this video over and over and over again. It's on YouTube. So Southwind Designs for the win.
That was fun.
Right?
Would 10 out of 10 recommend.
Me too. So cute.
Feel like I'm recommending hotels, but just a really fun pattern.
Fabulous. So thank you for joining us today. If you want to make the same block as Chelsea, it's the Mariposa pattern from Southwind Designs.
Super fun.
And make it into a whole quilt. Do a whole bunch of butterflies. And all those fabulous, fun, springy prints that you've been saving for the perfect project.
That'd be fabulous.
Yes. Anyway, I think that's all we've got for you today.
I think so. That was fun. I had a good time.
Thanks, everybody.